Hello, my name is Brad. This is Spores Attack by Polygon Games. The team consists of Jared Bruty, Bailey Saunders, Callum Bater, Dylan Brown and Bradley Davis. I am reading from a script that the whole team has looked at, agreed upon and is happy with me reading. Everyone has contributed to this script and it will outline the design of the game. So I'll just get started. So if I start game, the game is a wave-based twin-stick shooter, consisting of fungus and spores that have to fight. You're a pollen particle that has to defend his garden. The scene's getting quite cluttered with bullets. You have a health bar just to the top right, and as you can see, this game is quite hard, so we do have a couple of balancing issues. Due to the nature of the game, where the player gets swarmed by enemies, and we've got so many different types, like ranged, we've got melee, we did want to have a tank form in there, which could take multiple hits, all consisting of different models, but unfortunately we've only got one enemy model in the game at the moment. We had to make a clear distinction between the player and the enemies, so looking at games like League of Legends and games like Dota, we looked at the way they set up their games in terms of value structure, how they make the players higher in value compared to the rest of the map, and we tried to implement this into ours. We also wanted a clear distinction between the player and the enemies, so obviously red and green, complementative colours, red is dangerous, green is friendly. We also wanted the player to associate the mushrooms with the enemies, so everything is red and white, toadstools are red and white, so we made the fungus red and white. Yeah, so game over. So in terms of like problems, the only thing that we had with the art was maybe getting everybody in terms of the same level in terms of the design of the game. So oh, we've crashed. Let's try again. So yeah, so getting everybody onto the same level in terms of like the art style, getting everybody to like model the same way, especially when everybody's at different levels. I think that I'd like quite a clash. Obviously, all the models look really like different, and just like you can tell who's made each individual model. So I think in future, if I were to do something like this, it'd be worth looking at everybody's level as an artist and trying to find an art style that everybody can attain. We also have problems with like importing certain models, so Unity does opacity in a very specific way. It requires opacity to be built into its colour map. I didn't know this, so I had a load of problems trying to get the branches to work, trying to get certain foliage to work. I've even got grass in here, but I've not bothered to put it in because it just kills the game trying to paint it in. It's just not worth it. In terms of code, the player's movement script works by adding force in a certain direction. We limited the max force that could be applied in one direction, what the player moved in, and basically the player also fires in that direction as well. We have 4 different enemy types: a ranged unit that fires, a tank form, a melee form that hurts you when it touches you, and we also have a healer form. We did have another builder form that built more mushrooms, but obviously due to time constraints we've not managed to build that in. The player has a health bar that goes down as he gets hit. When it reaches 0, the game time stops and a game over screen appears. When all the enemies have been killed, the game ends in a similar fashion. Obviously we would have like a you win if like when the player beats all the enemies, or just something different instead of game over so the player knows that he's won. The software that was used was Maya, Max, Substance Paint, Substance Designer, Unity Game Engine, Visual Studio for the scripting, and then Discord due to communication. I think one thing that I regret as a Scrum leader not using is Trello. It was recommended to me to the start of the course, but due to having a negative experience with it before on past courses, I've not used it, but I think in future if I ever have a game project now, I will definitely use Trello. It was very hard trying to see whether like who'd finished what, keeping track with what everybody had done, just keeping track with everybody. Like for example, the coders, if they'd finished something, it would come up in the game engine due to the collab that we've got. But obviously I don't know scripting terms, and it was just hard to understand what they'd done. Um, and lastly, as an overview, like reiterating what I said, communication was very tough. I do wish we was more comfortable as a group, meeting outside of lessons and talking about how we wanted the game to look, what mechanics we wanted, etc. This very much would have resulted in a better product. Pre-production, I think, failed miserably. I think we just jumped straight into development with the game idea of Spores Attack. It's crashed again. And as I said before, I just wish I used Trello and organised the group a little bit better in that way. And I think that is it. So yep, this is Spores Attack by Polygon Games. Thank you very much for listening.